As you may be aware, Catherine Herridge is an award-winning CBS News reporter who had been at Fox. She left Fox News a number of years ago because, from what I was told at the time, she was perhaps too straightforward and fair. That the Catherine Herridge is like a real professional journalist who's not a team player. And she has refused to toe the party line. In fact, she has fought over sources. She refused at Fox News. In one case, she refused to disclose a source and has been threatened with jail time. And there's a First Amendment case outstanding on her. The order then came from Judge Christopher Cooper as a result of a lawsuit filed by Chinese-American scientist Yangping Chen against the FBI, citing documents reviewed by Fox News. Heritage reported Chen was the subject of a federal probe. Chen has alleged the federal authorities improperly leaked information about her and tried to uncover sources, and Heritage has absolutely refused. She left Fox News and landed at CBS News, and her reporting was always super solid reporting at Fox News, and at CBS it gave her a larger platform. And one of the stories that Catherine Herridge broke wide open was the Hunter Biden story. It's a very big story, obviously, and it has broader implications because there is a story now that CBS News has seized confidential files and her laptop about Hunter Biden. And a lot of people want to know why she was fired. I have some inside scoop on that. Just for perspective, so you know who your host is here. After I practiced law and started redstate.com, I got hired by CBS, or not by CBS, by CNN. I was at CNN for 3 years. Then I moved to Fox News. Roger Ailes himself recruited me to Fox News, went out to dinner with him several times. I moved to Fox News, was at Fox News for 5 years. And over that time, I developed a lot of friendships with people in the media. I'm still friends with a number of people in the media. CBS, ABC, NBC even, although less so at NBC. They've gotten so woke, so liberal, so progressive. But I know a lot of people, and a lot of these people talk to each other. And obviously, there were layoffs at CBS. Now, you should know the larger context here. CBS is part of Paramount. And Paramount is not doing well. In fact, hang on a second. Where is it? I saw this earlier today. Yep. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Paramount has been put on negative credit watch by S&P Global. The margin and cash flow generated by direct-to-consumer streaming businesses, which are replacing the linear TV segment, will be lower in comparison due to greater required content spending, higher technology investments, and higher marketing and subscriber acquisition costs. Stock in Paramount Global, which is led by CEO Bob Bakish, slid by 53 cents or 4.5% on Friday during late morning trading, with shares in the Hollywood studio last week taking another hit. Now, what's so interesting is when you think about the major flagships for Paramount, it's what? Mission Impossible and Star Trek. CBS is the most watched TV network, and they've got some great shows. They do. But the flagship properties of Paramount are Star Trek and Mission Impossible. And if you want to put this in perspective for why those are the flagship properties, they're very old properties. They've been around. You know who signed off on and developed Mission Impossible and Star Trek? Random trivia for you. This puts Paramount's problems in perspective. Their two tentpole franchises, Star Trek and Mission Impossible, were developed by Lucille Ball. Have you ever heard of the show I Love Lucy? Yeah, that's how old they are. They've tried to develop some new properties over time. They've been successful to some degree, but those are their big tentpole movie properties. They do streaming shows now. Like I like the new Star Trek show that's out there. About the Captain Pike in the Enterprise, Brave New World. Really like it. It's great. But they also have Halo. They've turned Halo, the Microsoft game, into a TV franchise, and I haven't brought myself to start watching the second season. The first one was okay, but not great. Like, you got to really be into Halo, the video game, which I am, to plausibly enjoy it. It was a bad move. So the company is in terrible financial shape, and they're looking for a buyer. They were hoping Apple would buy them or something. There's now a possible like streaming merger with Peacock and Comcast for their two streaming services, because neither are doing fantastic. But this has required layoffs at CBS. And who got laid off? Well, it surprised a lot of people. The Washington bureau for CBS News was hit very hard. Now, you have to know the leader of CBS News. The leader of CBS News is a woman named Ingrid Cyprian Matthews. She's a 30-year veteran. And by multiple accounts, she is very liberal and very woke and has taken DEI very seriously and looks at every opportunity to elevate non-white voices at CBS. It's not a coincidence that in the last number of years, the CBS morning show has become the most liberal of the three morning shows. Between Good Morning America, The Today Show, and CBS This Morning, CBS This Morning is much more willing to be openly, explicitly progressive under Ingrid Cyprian Matthews' leadership. It's still third place. It's not a great network. Their news division has not been good. Where they shine was in reporting, like from Catherine Herridge. Well, except the problem is Catherine Herridge is a white female who has a independent reputation separate from CBS. And what I'm told is one of the reasons she was laid off was not the Hunter Biden stuff per se, but because she's got too much individual clout. When you hear Catherine Herridge, you don't hear Catherine Herridge CBS News, you hear Catherine Herridge, famous reporter. And this set with her bosses wrong. They thought she was too big for her britches. But more than that, and this is where the Hunter Biden stuff does come in, is that if the network is moving to the left, you don't really want the person who exposed the Hunter Biden laptop situation on the payroll. Now, CBS is reported to have grabbed her laptop and her personal work product. They are now pushing back on it. This is from TV Newser. CBS News is pushing back on the report that it seized Catherine Herridge's belongings. Herridge was among many CBS News staffers laid off last week as a result of the company-wide retrenchment affecting 800 employees. Thursday, The Hill published a story. CBS had seized her personal belongings, including her files, computers, and records, including information on privileged sources. This is especially notable because Herridge, who worked as CBS News' senior investigative correspondent, has been with the news division since 2019 and involved in a court case in which she refused to reveal her sources stemming from an investigative piece she worked while at Fox. SAG-AFTRA and the Freedom of the Press Foundation condemned the supposed move. However, CBS News is denying the allegations. Catherine's personal belongings were delivered to her home 1 week ago, and we are prepared to pack up the rest of her files immediately on her behalf. With her representative present as she requested, we are awaiting a response from Catherine and or her representative to do so. We have respected her request to not go through the files, and out of concern for confidential sources, the office she occupies has remained secure since her departure. We'll see how this plays out. What I find notable is that CBS News hit its Washington bureau hard with these layoffs. And I don't think you can avoid layering in the widely regarded view that this president of the news division is a woke liberal who has embraced DEI and doesn't like people who shine too brightly at CBS. In fact, there's another story that the new president of CBS News, this is from the New York Post, this is from a couple of years ago. The new president of CBS News has been accused of using her clout to promote minorities while unfairly sidelining white journalists, a woke and divisive practice that sparked multiple employee complaints and an internal probe in 2021. Ingrid Cyprian Matthews, the 30-year veteran of the Third Place Network, also had been top deputy to ex-president David Rhodes. who exited over a series of high-profile scandals, including the Charlie Rose sexual harassment scandal. Now, some insiders are chafing over the promotion of Cyprian Matthews, a Dominican-born exec who's now the top-ranked woman of color at CBS News. Current and former employees reveal that 2.5 years ago, she was the target of a 6-month human resources investigation by Paramount into accusations of discriminatory hiring and management practices. Among the explosive claims were that Cyprian Matthews supported the promotion of an African-American correspondent after she personally witnessed him verbally abusing a female colleague. Elsewhere, she was accused of cooking up phony excuses to replace a white reporter with an African-American for a plum assignment covering the aftermath of the Capitol riots. In yet another instance, a white job candidate claimed Cyprian Matthews told her it would be easier to hire her if she were a different color as she passed her over. There you have it. That's interesting. Now, what's one of the other punchlines here among the other Washington casualties was CBS News correspondent Jeff Pegas, who was subjected to HR probes over his workplace behavior, including an alleged incident in which he dressed down a female colleague in a 20-minute rant. When the incident was investigated in 2021, insiders say Cyprian Matthews, who insiders accused of promoting minorities and unfairly sidelining white journalists, attempted to blame the correspondent and gave Pegas his promotion. And now he's out. According to one source, quote, she got rid of her enemies under the guise of budget cuts. She cleared the decks, and she had to sacrifice some others, like Pegas, who she promoted. Yeah, I think we see where this is going, but you shouldn't be surprised. After all, this is the network that kept Dan Rather in the anchor's booth as long as they did.